Hello, Bat Friends. My name is Illyria, and welcome to the full release of Things Too Ugly, brought to you by indie game developer Professor Space Games, with whom I owe a huge thank you for picking me to be the only streamer to receive their Steam key early. So thank you so much, Kevin, for allowing me to get the chance to play the game really before anyone else. Well, besides the reviewers, but that's beside the point. Anyway, there are a couple things that I would like to cover before we officially get started into the game. Up on your screen now is the photosensitive seizure warning. I am going to hide my camera just briefly. You can pause it and you can read through it yourself if this is something that affects you as a gamer or a viewer, one or the other. So pause for reading. Okay. But along with that, if you are here to have some help on a folder or a task in a specific folder that you are stuck on, I have included chapters below so you can skip to whichever part of the video that you're looking for some help on whatever it might be that you're stuck on. If you are here just to experience the game, then I will stop jibber jabbering and let's proceed. All right. Dear valued TEREBRO Inc. employee, this is dated April 2nd, 1986. Congratulations on your promotion to join our third shift risk assessment and management team. As an instant data processor, you will work closely with an R&M supervisor to model prior incidences and determine alternative approaches that may yield more favorable outcome in the future. You are important to the protection of TEREBRO's human and financial assets. To this end, remember never to share personal or identifying information with any other TEREBRO staff. Always adhere to your restroom and meal break schedule and always input clean, accurate data into your terminal. Remember to clock in to begin the shift and sign TEREBRO management. Working hard, working safely, working always. P.S. You can refer to your training notes in the help menu. Great. Let's get started. And yes, for those of you who are wondering, I do have a CCTV camera on the top of my head. I let Kevin pick this out. Cool. All right. Let's see here. We have a little house drawing here, 95.5. Okay, new 8861. That'll probably be important. And this little dude right here. We also have a decoder ring and some important information. So let's take a gander at this. Okay. TEREBRO Laboratories Data Processor Tools of the Trade. Our easy coder, TEREBRO Inc. began encrypting sensitive information contained within the inter-office communications in 1955. Okay, let's take a peek at that obnoxious sound first before we continue reading about our tools of the trade. Hello.
Hey, you awake in there? I know. The transition to the night shift can be tough, but I'm sure you'll adjust in time. Everyone does. Or we hire another. Listen, we're going to work through a new stack of incident files and see how the updated software works. R&D says they've rooted out the bugs in the query system, so the data you input should better model past incidents. We'll see, I guess. I'll review each report as it comes through. You go ahead and get logged in, then begin processing the first file. The night courier dropped off 5, but don't rush. Remember, accuracy is extremely important if we're to prevent incidents of a similar nature. Okay, I'll leave you for a bit. Talk soon.
Talk you. I know we're not supposed to like share important information, and with the demo, we never find out who our supervisor is. So I'm gonna call him a Jason. He can be Supervisor Jason. Cool. Well, let's see here. I'm going to continue reading the thing that we had up before, and then I think there are plenty of things in our current view that we can look at later. But I think this is going to be importante going forward. Okie dokie. So, portable AMFM radio. It's not just for listening to music. Some pertinent information or timely announcements may be broadcast locally for staff. Number 3, our portable GPS unit. Still in its prototype stage, this unit is capable of displaying various locales held by TEREBRO Inc. Enter a valid 4-digit location ID, commonly known as location, to display its corresponding map. Some helpful tips. Listen to your supervisor. They will instruct you over the intercom. Communication logs from your supervisor and others are saved on your terminal. Review them through the help menu, which you push the escape button on your keyboard. Maintain anonymity and protect some sensitive information. See the reverse side for diagrams and operating instructions. Oops, not what I wanted to do. I'm not a big fan of some of the controls. I tend to push a lot of the wrong buttons. So let me kind of get used to this again. It's been a little bit since I played the demo. Okay. All right. The decoder, the easy decoder. You rotate the core to decipher individual characters from encrypted messages. The AMFM radio, we have a tuning, the power and volume, and the bandwidth switch. That's good. The portable GPS, submit, clear, and the number keys. Plus, there's going to be a map. Okay. So, let's see. We also have this. Okay, VERI-FI. Risk assessment and management software, TEREBRO Inc. Quick reference card. Our user ID is Telos. Important. Let's flip it around. Oh, okay. Our shift codes update with each shift change, first, second, and third, and are broadcast locally on AM 820. For consistency, certain values are to be updated when entered into the VERI-FI trademark. Where meters is used, replace with yards. Where apples is used, replace with alpha. Where butter is used, replace with bravo. Where Charlie is used, no change. And where ABC or where the ABC array is used, replace it with XYZ. I'm going to move this. It's in the way of my screen. And reminder, never share your login credentials with anyone. Okie dokie, Dr. Jones. Cool. So let's start clicking around the desk and see kind of what we can kind of play with here before we officially start trying to get logged into the desktop. So we have the intercom here. I know about the Jeepus. All right, we'll put it away for now. Oh. Okay, so we have River Girls Artist Coalition. All right, interesting. Doesn't look like there's anything else in the cup we can touch. Oh my goodness. I wanted to touch the plane during the demo so bad. So thank you so much, Kevin, for making the plane touchable. Oh, that's fantastic. It's so cool. I love it. Looks more like a rocket than a plane, but you know, semantics. Okay, so we have a card here. TEREBRO Inc. Watching you grow. All right, that's not creepy. Lollipop. At TEREBRO Inc. Working hard, working safely, working always. Okay, so watching you grow at TEREBRO Inc. Then we get this like sweet popsicle that I haven't seen popsicles like this in so long. I would like to be able to take it off, but unfortunately you just kind of like put it back if you click on it. We can touch the bird feather. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, the shimmer, the shiny effect. Oh, that's so pretty. This is a beautiful bird feather. So we have a little cartoon. Interesting. Okay, there's no words on it. Oh, we can touch this one. Oh. $92. Oh. I think I've been retrained. Oh, that is a fascinating picture. I like it. That's really cool. Okay, I don't think there's anything else over there that I can touch. We can touch this. Nice. Spill the coffee. What's this? All right, so volunteer fire company, Caskia #1 annual benefit donations welcome. Children under 5 eat for free. Pancake breakfast and fish fry. Menu: small stack pancakes, all you can eat fish. Okay, whoever decided that pancakes and fish go together needs to be fired because gross. All right, date May 11th. Time, it goes all day. 50-50 raffle drawing. Oh, look, a cute little picture. Oh, I love it. Little fish. Little fish hook. Looks like a floppy disk. I would say that's a floppy. This is a little stapler file hogging. Hey. Ah, wonderful touch, Kevin. Absolutely wonderful touch. I mean, just people should remember, at least people that are my age and older will remember drawing this random S on I don't know how many different pieces of paper. That was fantastic. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, can't touch that. Oh. Oh. It appears we found a secret code. It says Honest Abe. Nothing on the back. Okay. Definitely when playing games like this, I'd recommend having a notebook nearby. So I'm gonna jump cut right here, and I'm going to use the decoder and figure out what this particular thing says. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so the little code thing says little nobody. I'm not entirely sure exactly what that means or how that will play into the game going forward, but I wrote it down and I'll keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as we keep going forward. Okay, so we'll put that down since I'm not particularly sure when that will come in handy. But let's start looking in to see what we need, to get logged into the Compooper so we can officially get started. Okay, so verify risk assessment. So we need our user ID, which coincidentally we have already discovered on that little card. It should be TALOS. Wait, no. I think it's Telos with an E. TELOS. Just going to verify because, yep, TELOS. Goody. Okay, and so our passcode, shift code, we read on that thing, that business card thingy, that we can hear the shift code using the Ampham radio. It was on 8:20 a.m., I think. Yes, 8:20. Turn that on. Switch that to AM. And let's see, we'll tune this to... Here's 800.
This is a regularly scheduled message from TEREBRO Laboratories, a division of TEREBRO Incorporated. Stand by for important updates. 1. The third labor shift has commenced. April 25th, 1986 is 7. Repeat. 7911. Are no longer valid. The ship at 7:30 a.m. on April 26, 1986. 2. Staff must renew their parking passes no later than May 1st, 1986. The rate for parking passes has increased to $39 and 0 cents per 6-month period. 3. The water will be shut off from approximately 1 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. for maintenance. We apologize for any inconvenience. TEREBRO Incorporated. Working hard. Working safely. Working always. This is a regularly scheduled message from TEREBRO Laboratories.
Oh, okay, shush. Let's go to FUM.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to It Came from the
No. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's go plug that in. 7911. Okay, whoops. Okay, 79111. And the passcode. Hold on just a second. Eight 861. Aha! Monthly passcode Crossroads. Wonderful. All right. Now we can start our first log file, I think. So, instant file 12.1. TEREBRO intensified its research for natural resources in the late 1950s. Incident files 12.1-5 contain important data regarding a series of events during and after a seismic test in the Mississippi River. Task 1. Which submersible watercraft was launched in the Mississippi River and at what depth? I'm not going to bother reading the second task quite yet. We'll take this one at a time. So, okay, operators, we're looking for propel, uncouple, reverse, descend, displace, ascend, hold, or dock. The data types we're looking for is the sub name, and the values that we're looking for is feet. Looks like a depth in feet. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick out our first file. Take a gander at some of the documents that are in here. Oh, cool. It's a really cool looking ship. Or, I don't know what it is. But the picture looks really cool. And... oh, good. Thank you so much, Kevin. It's not the same as like the original iteration of the demo. I had a picture of the little subcraft that he looked like he had a little face on the front. He would just look like he was happy to be a part of the experiment. Then the second iteration of the demo, it no longer looked like it really had a face, and I was kind of disappointed about that. So I am happy to see that the little pudgy subcraft has a little face again. But this looking great after the pressure test. Looks like the name of the craft we're looking for is the Siren 4. So, data types, the subname goes here. So it's SIREN 4. Okay. What's this? Okay, so the seismic thumper operation reference. Operating frequencies, sin or sine waves, min-max, all right, square, min-max, and triangle min-max. Operating voltage, 120 to 220 with appropriate adapter and cable. Okay, apply this decal and clear with operators of the equipment. Trained personnel only, risk of electric shock. Alrighty then. Let's see, let's look at this. Just a quick note for you. Remember, the new thumper can propagate 3 types of waveforms: sine, square, and triangle. Each for a different purpose. We do know for sure that 50% of the max hertz, can't recall it exactly, was the way to go. Be safe on Friday. Yes. Fishing next week. Regards, Smudgy. And nothing on the back. Cool. This seems quite important, so we'll tuck that in the back of our mind. Let's see here. This says... Babe? False. False earthquake means... It means true promise for local community. Okay, yes, that is a little small on the screen. And it kind of gets covered up when you zoom in on it, but I guess it's not necessarily important. The seismic thumper device placed on the bottom of the Mississippi River, credit to TEREBRO Laboratories. Neat. Okay. Residents of Chester, Illinois experienced what was originally thought to be an earthquake on Friday afternoon. However, TEREBRO Inc. has released an official statement explaining that the vibrations, some felt as far away as St. Genevieve, Missouri, were caused by seismic equipment placed in the Mississippi River. The statement explains that the equipment was deployed to produce sine waves that could reveal changes in geologic densities, which may suggest the presence of natural resources. TEREBRO spokesperson Harrison Jacobs told Daily Eagle staff on Monday, "There is no cause for alarm. We've dispatched our public and environmental safety team, and they've been given the river the all clear." Jacobs added the initial data indicates great promise for finding substantial resources, job-creating resources. And the TEREBRO Inc.'s statement can be read in its entirety on page A4. Oh, coupons. 50 cents for... Wouldn't that be nice? 50 cents for cereal and 10 cents for a bushel of bananas. Okay. TEREBRO Laboratories Memorandum. August 12th, 1959. To Field Research Team MUSEL. From Dale Clark, Chief Submersible Engineer. Subject 814, Launch Procedures. Be advised that prior to launching the most recent submersible model, its cabin must be pressurized on site to test for leaks. Though we have already conducted this test in a facility tank, protocol requires a second test immediately before staff board for a descent. Pressurized to 4 atmospheres, twice as much as is required by the descent depth. Then check for air leaks at hatch seams and window apertures. When in doubt, refer to the chart below. All right, so the test beforehand, they are using 4 atmospheres at 99 feet. And the actual test that we are using is half that. So 2 atmospheres at 33 feet. Pretty sure that was one of these questions. Yes, values in feet, 33. And the operator here, descend was nicely typed in red ink. So, let's see, DESCEND. Run task. Awesome. All right, moving on to task number 2. So to reproduce the conditions of the subsequent seismic thumper test. So we are looking for these operators: either propagate, amplify, read, destroy, measure, decay, modulate, or maintain. We're also looking for the data types, so the waveform that was used during the test, and value in hertz that was used during the test. I do recall them talking about some of that information on... okay, I know the waveform was mentioned here. They mentioned it... Aha. Okay, this statement explains that the equipment was deployed to produce sine waves that could reveal changes in the geologic densities. Okay, so we used sine waves for the experiment. We can just put that SINE there. And the value, I think I remember that being mentioned on this little piece of paper here. Yep. So sine waves, and let's see, each for a different purpose. We do know for sure that 50% of the max hertz was the way to go. Okay, and they did include little hertz stuffs here. So we used sine waves. Our max is 480, so half that we will use 240 hertz. Yeah, 240. And now we're just looking for the operator. Actually, I think it was also used. Yes. Remember, the new thumper can propagate 3 types of waveforms. Wonderful. Okay. So PROPAGATE. Propagate. Run task. Great. All right. So we have officially completed the first task. Let's hear what Jason has to say.
All right. That one seemed pretty standard. Let's see. On my end, it looks like VERI-FI is working correctly. No errors in the console. Clean report. A-OK. Not that I can actually tell you what's in the report. I mean, we can't even share our names. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, so to speak. I think... yeah, I've heard of this incident. Or a version of it, at least. The version printed in the paper. I probably shouldn't elaborate, but I will say this. The Daily Eagle and the VERI-FI report differ on a few key details. Funny how that works, huh? Okay. Move on to the next file when you're ready. I'll check in later.
Okay, cool. Interesting, though, that he even bothered to share that with us. I see something over here, but doesn't look like something I can touch. And I do see something over there as well. I don't think I can touch that either. Nope. Okay. All right, so we are going to... let's see, before I open the file, let's just kind of read what the first incident, or first task is that we're working towards on this next file. Okay, incident file 12.2. During the seismic test, a strange specimen was released from a fissure at the bottom of the Mississippi River. Researchers began efforts to identify and safely store the specimen. Okay, task 1. Remove the specimen from the Siren 4 using the Magnetech G-Field device. Okay, task 1. Remove the specimen from the Siren 4 using the Magnetech 6-field device. Okie dokie. So our operators that we're looking for are either measure, charge, intensify, duplicate, ionize, energize, generate, or minimize. Data types is the field type that was used and what value in Tesla. right? So we're gonna open the file. Oakley dokley. Oh, that's a mess. I'm gonna save that one for a little bit. Okay, so experimentation report from 8/15 of 59. 1 of 2. Experiment title / classification. Field generation of a stimulation of unidentified specimen. Introduction. Upon its return to the surface, it was noted that the Siren 4 had a black, viscous material adhered to its hull. It seemed to pulsate and swirl in strange patterns against the steel, but it could not be removed with hand tools. In fact, it seemed to be repelled by them, slinking away from the end of the screwdriver. It is surmised that the material was released from a fissure caused by the seismic thumper. Objectives: 1. Remove the specimen from the submersible craft. 2. Document the specimen's reaction to the generation of electric, magnetic, and electromagnetic fields. And 3. Seek some method for containing the specimen. Variables: 1. Field types, EM and EMF. And 2. Magnetic forces, 1 to 5 Tesla. Cool. These feel like exactly what the VERI-FI system is asking us for. So our hypothesis is, given the specimen's ability to selectively adhere to ferrous materials, we anticipate that it will react to magnetism, though in what ways we are yet unsure. So let's flip it over. Nice. So we have some experimental data. So this is 2 of 2. Safety. Do not make direct physical contact with the specimen. Wear proper PPE at all times. The materials that we will be using: number 1, the Magnetech EMF generator. 2, the selection of metallic magnets, various sizes. 4, 4-inch ID acrylic tube with ceramic caps. 4, variable PSI vacuum pump, and 3, of course, are PPE. The results: at peak response, the specimen was successfully drawn into an acrylic tube for containment. When not in direct contact with a ferrous surface, the specimen still remains mobile, though not bonded with its surroundings. Refer to graph below when future manipulation of the specimen is required. So, specimen response to field generation. Looks like blue is the EMF, the electromagnetic. So, strength in Teslas, 1 to 5 here, and low to high in the response. So it looks like it got a peak response with the EMF at 2 Teslas, and it looks like between 4 and 5 Teslas, it kind of like bottomed out. Okay, this feels like a really good graph to use, but let's keep poking around to see what else we have. Okay, so Magnetech 6 field generator for the production of fields necessary for scientific inquiry. Operation manual. Let's flip it over. Okay, so the introduction: safety 1 to 4, initial powering 5 to 6. Selecting field types, determining force needs, generation of fields, general troubleshooting in case of emergency, and Magnetech mailing address. So we at Magnetech hope you find this high-quality piece of equipment satisfactory. In the unlikely event that you do not, we encourage you to first read the entirety of this manual prior to contacting us. This will help us help you more effectively. Before operating your new equipment, we recommend that you, as well as any operators, view the included film, Magnetism and You. Okay. Ooh, this is cool. Is it just me, or does anybody else see a face in this rock and or dust cloud? We got like the chin here, an open mouth here, like the nose-ish sort of here, and the divots for the eyes there, like a brow there. Oh, not too far from the bridge. Seismogenic fault may indicate natural gas. Cross your fingers. Okay. Ugh, what's this? Is this the specimen that they found? Ugh. It's just like ink with these weird sort of like antenna. It looks like the what you see on a shrimp or something. I'm not okay. Ooh. It moves in such odd ways. Always searching. And I think this tiny little piece of okay. Oh. Okay, so the average wavelengths of light per Dr. C's instructions. What is this? Beans? I'm not sure how I feel about this picture. It looks kind of like gross baked beans. With like jelly or a jam or something around it, or like a thick barbecue sauce. I'm not sure. It also kind of makes me feel some kind of way. Ugh. Because it kind of looks like teeth too, so I'm just gonna flip it around. Could not replicate results. Modified +1 Tesla. Well, it's a good thing that we read this, because the results on the initial experimentation report would not have given us the sufficient information to put into our computer. Cool. Okay, so we take what is on the results here and add 1 to the Teslas. That was confirmed. So what is this? This is light emitting diode test. Illumination by UV wavelengths. Okay, notate target locations. So this box is pointing to... I'm assuming inside this bold, small rectangle here. This box is pointing towards, I guess, the outer edge of these. I have no idea. This whole piece of paper is a fucking mess. And, okay, so the results, I'm assuming of the first one, like 400 nanometers, there wasn't a change. 600 nanometers, there wasn't a change, but at some smudged out amount, nanometers, there was an observable change. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Nothing on the back of that. I think we've officially looked at everything, so let's kind of review sort of what we're looking for. So we're looking just for the field types in Tesla. And okay, so let's review this paper one more time. So we have our variables, the field types, and the magnetic forces. Okay, so we'll flip this over. So at peak response, successfully drawn into an acrylic tube. All right, so, excuse me. The best response that we got was with the EMF. And this chart says that the highest response was at a Tesla of 2, but with that extra little note thing that I think should have been sticky noted onto this, says we need to add 1 Tesla. So this will be 3. EMF and 3. EMF and 3. Okay, so then our operators were measure, charge, intensify, duplicate, ionize, energize, generate, and minimize. Kind of leaning towards duplicate, but let me take a second look. I think I would be wrong for leaning towards duplicate, since what we're doing is with the field generation. So that was the whole experiment, was using field generation for stimulation of the unidentified specimen. So I think generate was one of them. Yeah, let's try generate first. I know if we get it wrong, it will tell me, it'll go boop boop, and then I can try again, but all right, good. So let's move on to the second task. Task 2, test the specimen's response to various wavelengths of light. Alrighty. So the operators we're looking for are either shade, illuminate, focus, duplicate, diffract, electrify, apply, or refract. And the data types are in lumens, candles, nanometers, or lux, and the values in the amount. Obviously, I didn't read about any of those data types, but I remember nanometers, so N-A-N-O-M-E-T-E-R-S, nanometers. Okay, and so let's take a peek back at the thingy that mentioned nanometers. I think it was specifically this one. Yeah, nanometers here. So this is the experiment or the test that they're referring to here. Light emitting diode test, illumination by UV wavelengths. Okay. Nah. Illumination! I knew illuminate kind of was ringing a bell up there, so ILLUMINATE. Okay, so then we need to figure out the amount of nanometers here. So we know it wasn't 4, and we know it wasn't 6. Oakley dokley. So I'm going to just Google, for my own reference, what a nanometer is. Alrighty, so a nanometer wavelength refers to the measurement of the distance between 2 points on a light wave. Expressed in nanometers, where 1 nanometer is equal to 1/1000th of a meter, visual light typically falls within a wavelength range of 400 to 700 nanometers, with violet having the shortest wavelength and red having the longest. Okay, so visual light sits between 400 and 700. So, let's see, because my first instinct on this one was this is 4, they went up by 200 nanometers, and then this is, looks like they're gradually increasing. My first was to think, is this 800 nanometers? Did they just increase it by 2 again? But seeing as how we're looking for an observable change, we need to, I guess, test using a light wavelength that is in the visual spectrum, given that 800 nanometers is outside of our visual spectrum. That would have been a bad guess. Okay, so it looks like we have something from the higher end of the spectrum going all the way in, and something from the lower end of the spectrum going all the way out, or testing from the middle part, testing from the wider part, and we had no changes on either part here. So in 4 or 6, our visible spectrum is between 4 and 7. So then let's say that the nanometers that we decided to go with was just in the middle, between 4 and 6. So let's put 500, because I'd imagine somewhere in between there we might get some results. Because if we're not getting results on the lowest end of the spectrum, and we're not getting results on the highest, well, towards the higher end of the spectrum, maybe around the mid-range, we'll get something. I'm not a huge fan of that, just because the sheer amount of lines and stuff, that particular piece of paper is a bit difficult to decipher. But let's see if I'm right by guessing 500. Oop, I picked the wrong operator, evidently. But 500 is right. So is it not illuminate, or did I spell it wrong? It is quite possible that I spelled it wrong. I'm going to try spelling it again. ILLUMINATE. Yeah, see, illuminate was right. Cool. Second one down.
So this is strange. I've got a message in the console, but it's not one known to verify. Here, jot this down on your blotter. 4248. I wonder what that could mean. This stays between us, okay?
All right. So, VERI-FI gave him that. I think I wrote it down. Yeah, so I didn't actually have to physically write it down. Error from soup 4248. Okay, so 4248. Let's type it into our Jeepus and see what it is. So let's clear it. Okay, so 4248. Submit. I think we can learn from it. Use its ability to rearrange and solidify. What might we build with such a unique material? Should we even try? Is it alive? Maybe we should just Leave it be. Leave it be. Leave it be. Leave it be. No. Alrighty then. Okay, so let's read about the new folder. Okay, incident file 12.3. After observing the specimen's bonding characteristics, along with its unique method of locomotion, it was determined that control life forms should be introduced. So the first task we'll be working on is which animal was initially exposed to the specimen and in what way. So our operators that we're looking for are feed, magnetize, inject, glue, graft, extract, encapsulate or puncture. What animal and what part of the animal's anatomy. Alrighty then, so let's grab the file. They can't grab that. Okay, open file. Okay, so we got stuffs here. Okay, let's see here. Selecting the appropriate instrument. We have a photoscope for the documentation of specimens using visible and invisible light, and the resoscope for the documentation of specimens using magnetic resonance imaging. Let's flip it over. Okay, so the photoscope, photoscopic images are beneficial when a specimen's observable physical characteristics must be studied. Photoscopes are best suited for exterior imaging of specimens. Qualities such as hue, texture, size, shape, etc., as well as a specimen's physical response to external stimuli are best documented with a photoscope. Now, the resographic images are beneficial when a specimen's interior structure cannot be sufficiently illuminated with traditional photographic processes. Moreover, when used correctly, a resoscope can provide valuable insight regarding a specimen's molecular structure and response to magnetic fields and radio signals. All right. Okay. So, let's see. Redacted. Please be advised. Research staff are now expected to use new animal testing protocols. Note the changes regarding anatomical sites below. When feeding, use A. When injecting, use B. And when grafting, use C. Also, I encourage you to exercise extreme caution when interacting with or handling the new specimen. Its propensity to augment contacted fauna is alarming, to say the very least. It seems to like metal. Also, remind your staff to remove jewelry, belts, money clips, etc. Those who have ferrous pins, screws, or other fasteners as results of orthopedic surgeries should remain at least 12 meters from the specimen at all times. Signed, Professor Smudge. Okay, no helpful info on the back of that one. Let's see here. Restaurants and vendors approved for meal delivery to TEREBRO Inc. during normal business hours. All right, so the Kaskaskia Hotel and Fine Dining, 555-7691. Oscar's Bar and Grill, 555-2901. And Tango's Tapas, 555-2525. Food delivery is accepted from these locations only. Okay, I have an idea on what we're supposed to be doing with that particular document. Okay, 75% magnification should work just fine from C. I think I remember there being another note from a previous file saying that we have a Dr. C. So, I think Dr. C has the cursive notes, and one of Dr. C's peeps, I guess, or underlings, has this sort of half print, half cursive writing. Okay, so we have some field testing locations for 9159. Test 1 in red, we'll have to decode that. Test 2 in green, we'll have to decode that. And test 3, only if necessary, in blue, we'll have to decode that as well. Okay, so I am going to decode these real fast. And then we'll move forward so we don't waste any time on some stuff. So, VERI. Okay. So, this red one for test 1 decodes to hotel. This green one for test 2 decodes to Oscar. And this test 3 blue one decodes to Tango. Okay, moving on to the next one. Memorandum. Date, August 27th, 1959. To Lab Research Team Milfoil. From Redacted. Subject, the specimen, intelligence. The specimen, now named, we'll call him Blobathy, is showing marked increases in awareness of its surroundings and team members. When originally contained and observed, Blobathy moved with terrestrial locomotion, but as we have exposed it to further light, radio, and current tests, it has temporarily sprouted appendages, then withdrawn them into its amorphous mass. It may soon walk. Furthermore, it has been noted that Blobathy will shift and recoil when staff enter the room. More concerning, though, it is the specimen's tendency to similarly shift or rearrange when staff simply look in its direction. It has no observable eyes, compound or otherwise, so we do not yet understand its ability to sense our presence through the acrylic chamber. For now, assume it is watching. Assume it is learning. Okay, nothing on the back of that one. Oh, that's interesting. Looks like a leaf. Oh. Evidence of test animals' dysmorphic exterior after prolonged exposure. Right. Okay, and I think we have one more left, and then I will review what the task parameters are. Ugh. Okay, so we have a spider, a crustacean, and a fish. Oh, so a something, a crayfish, and a lamprey. Ooh, another note. I really think we should try grafting first. Big risk, big reward, right? Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is plug these into the Jeepus and kind of see what we get from them. So let me grab the Jeepus. So test 1 was at 7691. All right, yeah, hotel. Fauna tested the hobo spider. All right, hobo spider it is. Okay, and the contaminants. Oh, shoot, hold on. I pushed a button on my keyboard. Our AR, which is argon. HG, which is mercury. And SE, which is selenium. But okay, so we know that that spider from that other piece of paper was at the hotel location. So test 1 was on the spider. Okay. 2901 is test 2. Cool. Okay, this is Oscar. We tested that crayfish. And the chemical runoff was CuSO4, which is copper sulfate. And we also had NH3, which is ammonia. All right. And the last test, which was only if necessary, was 2525. All right, test 3 is Tango, and that was the lamprey. So that was that fishy. And the contaminants here is polychlorinated biphenyls. I have no idea what that means, but it okay, so hold on. Let's look at this picture again, because the note on the back of it says that evidence of test animals' dysmorphic exterior after prolonged exposure. Okay, so so that is the animal that we'll probably be using for this particular task. And if you ask me, that seems pretty spider-like. It does not remind me of a crawfish or a crayfish, and it does not look like any part of a fish. Okay, so then I think we're focusing on test 1. So I'll clear this and plug in test 1 again, which is 7691. Okay, so we know for a fact that it is a hobo spider. And that is what was smudged off here. So I think it was asking... Yeah, what the animal is. The animal was a hobo spider. And we need to know what part of the anatomy it was that we tested on. Okay, well, let's see. This shape here. I don't know much about spiders, but I'm pretty sure that's not its pincers. Or, that one. So it's either its like head region or its butt region. So the cephalothorax or cephalothorax, which makes a little bit more sense. Snuffleupagus? It's snuffleupagus? Or it's abdomen. I would base this solely on the number of letters in each word. Because cephalothorax has quite a bit of letters that I honestly don't think will fit in the terminal. I want to say that abdomen is it just because it has the fewer amount of letters. So I honestly do not think that cephalothorax would fit into that value. So I'm cool with hobo spider and abdomen. Now let's look for the operator. Feed, magnetize, inject, glue, graft, extract, encapsulate, puncture. Okay, so we took a picture of it. At least the folder includes a picture of the exterior of the spider, taken with the photo thingabob. So we didn't feed it because we're not looking at what happened to the inside of it, nor inject it, or extract anything, encapsulate. We didn't wrap anything in it, I don't think, and we didn't puncture it. So and in what way? Oop, down. I would say we grafted it. Since we were looking at prolonged exposure on the exterior. Although we did have this sticky note saying that they wanted to try grafting first. My guess is graft. We'll see if I'm right. Yes! All right. Cuckoo. So for task 2, we need to document any changes in the second test animal's anatomy. So the second test animal was the crawfish? Or the crayfish? Yeah, the crayfish. So that was the second test, CRAYFISH. Cool. Okay, so that was easy. Magnification. Okay, so operators photograph, omnigraph, resograph, telegraph, micrograph, statograph, electrograph, and hypograph. All right, so what did we do to the crayfish? Let's look at this. I remember this saying that 75% magnification should do just fine. So that seems to be important for application. Let's read this again a little bit more closely. Okay, so we have mouse hair follicles, 200 times magnification. So this photoscope uses 100 times minimum to 400 times is the maximum. And the resoscope is mouse bone interior, 1000 times magnification, 500 times minimum, 2000 times maximum. Okay, so 75% of the maximum, more than likely. So, let's see here. So then that tells me that we're either looking for photographed or resograph, I think. Yeah, photograph or resograph. I think between those two is going to indicate which one it is. I think that's kind of what we're aiming for here. So I'm going to lean towards resoscope, and I'm going to say that we injected it or something. So like, let's do 75% of 2000 magnification, 1500. Resograph. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay. I was wrong with my assumption. Okay, so, that's fine. Then we have photograph. 75% of 400. Let's try that. All right. There we go. All right. So let's see what
No, I'm not supposed to share this information with you or anyone else, but you see the data. I see the report. I'm thinking we're onto something the execs would want to know about. Or worse, that they already do know about, and they don't want us to. I can only imagine the things you're seeing in those files. No matter how clinical the verbiage, the reports are becoming pretty disturbing. Let's push through and see what else we can find, but at this point, if I could come up with an excuse, I'd drop this like a hot rock.
can't agree with you more, Jason. Okay, this is the Mississippi River bank. It's just a cool postcard, I guess. I mean, yeah, it is a cool postcard, but it seems a bit odd that it was tucked in with the, yeah, it was tucked in with the stuff. Okay, let's, read a little bit about this. Okay, incident file 12.4. The specimen's ability to both bond with and alter organisms has been confirmed. Several animals have been totally corrupted. At least one human exposure is suspected. Uh-oh. Task 1. Perform a vivisection on the weakest animal to be affected. Okay. Let's look for our operators. Either cauterize, implant, incise, vacuum, suture, resect, pulsate, or biopsy. Which animal and how many inches? Okay. All right. I agree. I think the containment module is best. We can sort everything out later, but health and safety come first. Most of the new facility still needs signage. For now, go by its location ID. Redacted. We have only just begun moving things in. The northwest corner should be available. I hear the thing has become smarter. I know they have had a heck of a time getting it under control. You know it has gained biomass with each animal exposure? Playing with fire, if you ask me. Signed, Blobathy. Okay, no additional notes on the back. Let's look at this. I think we need to isolate him immediately. Okay, so this is Dr. C. He was the one with the cursive handwriting. What's this? Hmm. 0220. So that must be the location ID. Hold on, I didn't flip it around all the way. Nothing on the back. Cuckoo. So since we know the location ID, let's go ahead and plug that into the Jeepus. Clear that. All right. Oh, okay, so we have records, mechanical, a cooling place, containment for apples, butter, Charlie, and Duff. Okay. And then we don't know what that is. All right, so that definitely seems important. What's this? Okay. We attempted a surgical procedure on a something that was hosting blobothy. It went about as you might expect. We could not peel the specimen away. We determined that the vivisection would be best. There was no saving the blank anyway. I made a single incision, but no sooner than I finished cutting, inky innards or strands of something itself spilled out. They groped the exterior of the something body, then grabbed the scalpel. I'm serious. It snatched it from my hand and withdrew it into the blank cavity. But it didn't stop there. Blank zipped the incision back up from the inside with tiny stainless sutures. We knew it liked metal, just not how well it could reorganize and manipulate it. And don't worry. Yes, it touched my hand, but it wasn't as bad as folks are saying. I'm fine. You bitch. I could see why that sticky note said we needed to isolate him. Okay, ain't nothing on the back of that one. Let's look at this picture. This looks like a spider. I'm assuming this is the hobo spider. What happened to it after we grafted some shit to it? It just sort of like exploded with these inky innards. Okay, nothing on the back. Ooh. A decoding message. Okay, regarding subject code name. It is absolutely imperative that we make a decision about him soon. We have little to no understanding of the specimen, and now we have a confirmed human contact. For his safety, as well as the safety of everyone else, we must at least temporarily house him in the containment module. One of the lab techs claims to have seen the whole ordeal. She says the thing brought him to his knees when he touched it. Let's not take any chances. All right, any little blurbs on the back? No? All right. I am going to decode that real fast, so just give me a second, and we'll be right back to reading these documents. Okie dokie. So I decoded it, and it spells out watershed, which is a interesting thing to codename something. But what do I know? I'm no scientist. Okay. Memorandum. Date, May 15th, 1959. To all facilities supervisors. From redacted. Subject, inaccurate construction drawings. Please be advised that the working drawings of our newest facility were notated in error by the architect. The new containment module is actually directly south of the cooling tower, not west, as originally indicated. Moving forward, we will try our best to update all of our facility maps. But for now, I ask that you notate each of your office's maps by hand. Thank you for your cooperation. Too funny. Think he still got paid? Ugh. These look like worms. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, the difference in textures is kind of cool, though. I'm curious how you made these pictures, Kevin. They're fascinating, that's for sure. Oh, the lamprey are faring the worst. Besides, softest bodies. True, that would be okay. So I think that was part of the question for task 1. Surgical precision ruler, non-human, property of redacted. We don't use names here. Oh, vertebrates, invertebrates, birds, mammals, fish, reptiles. Oh, lab experiments requiring surgical procedures may only use the approved animals listed on the table. Oh, vivisect. Okay, so these are like incision lengths that we're allowed to use on a particular test animal subject. So let's reread what it is that we need over here. All right, so perform vivisection on the weakest animal. Okay, so we know the weakest animal is the lamprey. Lamprey. All right, and in inches, so that would be get that from the ruler. So I will take a closer look at the ruler in a second. Cauterized implant, incise, vacuum, suture. Okay, so we are making an incision. So I'm gonna say it is INCISE. INCISE. Okay, value. So let's look at that thingy. This ruler. And okay, I've written down these color-coded notations on the ruler and their respective inches. So it'd be, you don't have to keep flipping it over and stuff. So we're just gonna look at the back and figure out what is on those color-coded thingies. Okay, so first one was at 1 inch. It was noted as 1.A and it was highlighted in green. So a 1A is a vertebrate and it was an anole or anole for green, which is reptiles. Okay, so that's fish isn't a reptile, so let's keep going. Next one was at 1.5 inches, and it was marked with purple highlighter as a 2.A, which is an invertebrate, and it was purple, so that makes it a Malacosticans. Malacosticans? I have no idea. But an A for purple is a blue crab. Okay, so the next one is at 2.5 inches, which is 1.B, and it's highlighted in orange. So that would be a vertebrate, and it's a mammal. B is a red squirrel. So that's no. And finally, at 5 inches, we have a 1.B in yellow. So it'd be a vertebrate, yellow is a fish, and B is a lamprey. So, cha-ching, we found it. We're at 5 inches. So we'll go back over here. 5 inches. Run task. Boop, boop. All right, getting close, guys. All right. Task 2, and then we only have 1 file left. All right, task 2. So, Mitigate risks associated with human collateral damage. Okay. So we have medicate, admit, operate, tranquilize, isolate, terminate, discharge, or demote. Well, data types, the subject and the location. All right, so obviously I remember from that sticky note that they wanted to isolate him. So isolate. The data type is the subject, and the code name for that subject was watershed. watershed. And we just need to figure out where they put him. So I'm gonna guess that's here. Okay, so I think he was isolated in the containment module. So we either have apples, butter, Charlie, or Duff. And all it says is that for his safety and everyone else, he will be temporarily housed in the containment module. And one of the lab techs claims to have seen the whole ordeal. She says the thing brought him to his knees when he touched it. Okay. Location ID. So we did see that on the other picture, this one. Let's see here. So we have been moving things in. The northwest corner should be available. I hear the thing has become smarter. I know they have a heck of a time getting it under control. Playing with fire, if you ask me. Okay, I do remember on this thingy where it said that where apples is used, replaced with alpha, and where butter is used, replaced with bravo, and Charlie has no change. So, okay, given this thing, he could either be housed in either apples or butter or Charlie. So that would have been Alpha or Bravo or Charlie. And it doesn't mention anything about Duff. I'm assuming that they just continue on with Delta. But since I haven't found anything specifically that sticks out to indicate which one of the containment modules that they put him in, I guess let's just start plugging them in and see which one clicks. So, Alpha. Nope, they didn't put him in Alpha. Valid. So we're right. Okay, so BRAVO. Yes, it's Bravo. Oh, we don't have an open file button quite yet, but so let's see what Supervisor Jason has to say.
My God, it just gets worse.
I know.
Okay, I have to come clean. I
Yeah?
cherry-picked these files, and I had to dig deeply, and bribe the courier to misplace them in your workspace.
What?
Even in my position, only seeing half the story, I've suspected human testing. Illegal human testing for some time. They've done terrible things. Things too ugly to bring to light. But I think we have to. We just have to. I snuck my camera in today. I'm going to photograph these reports and leak them. I'll lose my job and likely my pension when I violate the NDA, but I don't care. I can't abide this. Look, we may not have much time. This work is happening. Quietly.
Okay.
Help us. 1, 0, 2.
But I want to look at the last file. I think I'm thinking a little bit too much. Can you hear us? Okay, well that is like a little radio station tower. So, 102.9.
Sounds good. And you shut off the recorder? Okay, let's get started. It's 3:32 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, October 12th, 1959. We've got Subject Watershed here, and he's not looking good. He's been comatose for just over a week now. The original specimen has bonded with him so completely that as of yet we've been unable to separate them. In fact, we're having a hard time telling where one ends and another begins. The specimen cannot be removed surgically. It hardens its body against scalpels and drills. It's apparently impervious to chemical treatments as well. The only thing it has responded to thus far has been electricity. While we've been able to reconstitute the specimen into complex structures by passing various waveforms through it, the thing itself can in turn reconstitute its host. We've seen it in the spiders, the eels, the arthropods, and now a colleague. A friend. He's suffering, and we must end his suffering. When we send the current through him, we'll have a narrow window to siphon the specimen off his body. 500 milliamps will surely kill him. But with some luck, we may save the specimen, contain it, and continue our studies. We're looking a great loss in the eye here, friends. But it doesn't have to be in vain. Okay, let's give him some relief. Stand by 1. Stand by 2. Go, 3.
Oh, all right. Looks like I wrote something down. Voice over intercom. Other than that, nothing else looks too familiar.
Hello? Hello?
Press on.
Hello? Oh, got it. What in the world's going on? Did you lose power too? The backup kicked on, but I couldn't get my intercom to work. I thought security was going to bust through the door any second, but no one showed up. The power's back. I'm guessing they're not onto us. Either way, let's get this done. One more file, 5 reports. Damning evidence of wrongdoing. No one can ignore this.
Okay, let's open the file. Ugh. Oh, we got weird fingers and tentacles and tentacly fingers. Ugh, what the fuck? Okay, somebody. Okay, so Redacted came to me asking about that old generator. Blank wanted to know just how much current it could generate. I told Blank we had better, newer models in storage, but I got the sense Blank was after something without an inventory number. I know I shouldn't have, but I told Blank to be careful. You should have seen the look. Somebody shot me. Surprised, mad, caught. I don't know what exactly. I had to say something. That generator runs up to 500 something. I'm going to say amps or watts or something. And that's a life-threatening amount of current. I got reassigned later that day. They're moving me to nights and dropping me down into redacted. You may not hear from me for a bit. Your friend, Blobothy. I did notice that there was some highlighter stuff, so we'll take a closer look at that in a minute. Oh. What? Okay, so... Oh, what the fuck is going on here? Okay, so we have a people's. It looks like they crossed out at the face. Another people's, maybe. So we have hand here, hand here. This looks like the crayfish. It says, how will you sleep now? Dr. C, I'm guessing. Here's another one. This looks like a synapse or a neuron of the brain, but it says, I told you we should leave it be. No other additional notes on the back. What is this? Jesus. That used to be a spider, I think. Whoa. Am I supposed to know what I'm looking at? I don't know. Okay, I think this would be the fear of holes. Ugh, this looks like an eye socket. You really think they'll terminate him? Wouldn't it be nice if they would kill the specimen before it murders all? Okay, these look like teeth and bones. Mostly teeth. And nothing else. Okay. Oh, lovely. All of it's been redacted. Watershed. Neither research team, leaders, nor management are accepting questions or comments at this time. Memorandum. I suppose there is a sin of science or progress. Nothing on the back. Okay. The sins of progress. Help us, help us, help us, help us, help us. Operators, data, values. Okay, let's take a look at this one again since it had those current generator. A generate in 500. Okay. I feel like generate should go first, but... Operator, current, data type, generate, value. I feel like current and generate should switch places. It would make more sense that way, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna switch them. Because I don't think this thing should live. Okay. Oh my god, look at the moon. Okay, so free specimen true. Oh fuck no. No siree, Bob. There was there was a sticky note that says something about terminating, so terminate specimen true. Okay, I'm not setting this bitch free. An idea, because I do not want to set that bitch free. Suspected mishandling of TEREBRO Laboratories data has been detected. Please await further instructions as this potential violation is investigated. In the meantime, do not clock out, do not contact your supervisor, do not leave the property, and thank you for your cooperation. Oh, fuck that noise. I'm gonna talk to Jason. Hopefully he's doing alright.
Guys, I think there must be a misunderstanding here. I've been with the company for nearly 30 years. An entire career in the service of TEREBRO. Working hard, working safely and all that. I mean, you're lucky I caught this whole thing in time. Saved us all the big headache, you know? Wait. Hang on. Hang on. No. Just...
I guess he got fired. It's better than getting dead. That's for sure. Okay, this is still glowing though. Peace.
Hey, are you in there? It's me, Come on. We gotta get out of here.
Well, okay. Well, I guess that concludes our playthrough of Things Too Ugly. It seems to me that that we will get two endings to the game, and my assumption is that we got the good ending, where both the character we play as well as our supervisor Jason make it off the property alive, and the specimen stays contained. So to me, that felt like the best possible ending that we could have gotten. I am curious as to what happens when you don't choose to keep the specimen contained, but instead free the specimen. So, seems to me that you'll just have to buy the game, play through it yourself, and see what happens. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Again, a huge thank you to Kevin for allowing me to experience this game before pretty much anybody else. This was a wild fucking ride. It was pretty much unlike any other game I've ever really played before. It wasn't quite as horror as I had originally expected. It was more of like creepy, but when I was trying to get the feel of how the story might go with just like the description that was given on Steam, and from our experience with the demo, I played both the first and the second iteration of the demo, and I can tell you that I had no inkling whatsoever that the story was going to go that direction. I had been wrapping my brain around, or trying to wrap my brain around what could possibly be the horror aspect of this story based off of just some of the files that we read. I thought it was going to go into like worse than it, like a very bad earthquake or something, or it was like the seismic thumper was going to release this toxic gas or this toxic something or other into the water, which was going to then poison the neighboring people who lived close enough to the river, or something to that effect. It did not realize, it didn't even occur to me. I didn't even have a thought in my mind that it was going to go that direction. I thoroughly enjoyed that game, Kevin, and you did a phenomenal job. This was a lot of fun, and I really, really enjoyed the using the documents that we had in order to figure out exactly what to type into things. I mean, it forced me to think about things in a way I hadn't, normally thought about it, or Google something to better understand like what the hell a nanometer was, because that's not really something I'm very familiar with. But I'm very excited for everyone else to experience this game, and that's all I have to say about that. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next stream. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you later. Okay. Bye, everybody.